So this is like a pretty big day for me, I guess. This is like sort of the reintroduction of my YouTube channel, I guess. Um, for those of you that are still following me after 10 years, you'll remember I like made gameplay videos, and it was literally like 10 years ago, which is crazy to me. But things couldn't be different now than they were before. Like I haven't touched a gaming computer in like 10 years. Since then, like that was like back in high school for me. Since then, like I went to college to study agricultural engineering, and we got like a pretty broad education. We've learned mechanical, civil, electrical, all sorts of engineering, hydraulics. Like my senior project, I was on a team that built an automated tractor that went and competed in Illinois. But yeah, ever since I graduated, I've been living off grid. Like literally right after I graduated, I moved into my van, which is back up there. Maybe I'll walk back up there and show you guys. But lived out of my van for 3 years. Like right out of college, I started working for a government agency that does conservation work for farmers. Maybe I'll talk about that later, but I'm sure you could look it up if you're interested in it. So yeah, I lived in my van for 3 years on the coast. And then COVID hit, and I started living off grid in the woods. And so yeah, I want to share with you guys what I'm doing out here. A lot of people have asked me to make videos about it and share what I'm doing. And I know that like future me would be upset if I didn't at least try to put some of this content out into the world. One of the funny things is that if I had stuck with doing like gameplay videos, like I was just starting to get like some traction. I was getting some videos that were like up into the hundreds of thousands of views, and just to like think that if I had continued on that trajectory, like I might be like, one of these big gameplay people, but it's not what I'm doing now. And it's probably not the most like view rich videos that I'm going to be making, but this is what I'm doing now. It's rewarding for me. I enjoy it. And in like the current state of the world, I think it's important to know kind of how to do this. So, I've already done a lot of stuff like build a solar system for this cabin, and this is my van right here that I lived out of. And yeah, so for those 300 people that are still following me, subscribe to me, thank you. I know it's a little bit of a gear change, a little gear shift for you guys, but I think it'll be funny for you to watch this because it couldn't be different than what I was doing before. Got my little old truck here, got a couple Jeeps. Yeah, so I want to talk about like resilient living, living off the grid. not depending on the powers that be to make your life. You know, I'm up here, I'm fully off the grid. I mean, minus maybe the propane that I have to get delivered like every couple years, maybe every year at this point. You know, I heat the house on wood. I'm on a well. I have a septic system. Actually, just last year I got it set up on internet up here, which is kind of like a huge change because I grew up on this piece of land, and for the longest time it was like really isolated, really off the grid. And let's see, I can hardly even see. In that tree up there, I've got a cell antenna and a cable that comes down here to a cellular modem, so I can actually be connected to the world. But like when I was a kid up here, you wanted lights, you wanted power, you got to go out and run the generator. And yeah, I've come a long way in the last couple years up here, and I want to share the journey. So join me.